Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to use tab bar controllers in Xcode. So let's go ahead and get started. Now tab bars are actually very simple to actually grasp. So we need to open up Xcode and we're going to create a new Xcode project. Now I will be showing you both ways when you create your application at first. You can choose to click tabbed application or single view application. Most of you click single view application, I assume. So I'll show you how to do it via single view application, but first we're gonna do tabbed application, which is very simple. So we just need to call the product name. I'm just gonna call mine tab and create. And now let's go over to our main.storyboard, and I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. And now in our main.storyboard, you will see that you will have your tab bar controller. So now if we were actually to build and run this, you will see that we have the first view, the second view. They're already loaded in there. Now the way they are loaded in there is because of these segues. Now let's add another view controller, which I'll show to you is just very simple. We just need to add a view controller like so. Drag it down a bit. And you just right click or control click and drag from that tab bar controller over to your view controller. And we need to go to relationship segue view controllers. So now as you will see, you're gonna be like, what just happened? There's a huge gray bar. Now this is actually because there's a system item that's not really matched up right now. So we need to go over here and we're gonna just pick any of these. We're going to click downloads. Now as you will see, we have downloads second and first set up in our tab view controller. So now we have first, second, and downloads. And just to show that is downloads, we just add a label like so. And now if we were to build and run this, it's first, second, and downloads like so. So now we have that label. Alright, so if we were to it's very simple to do that. So now let's go ahead and continue on with a single view application. So I'll just open up Xcode again, create a new Xcode project, and this is going to be a single view application. Next, product name, I am just going to call this tab again, and we'll just replace it, I guess, like so, and make this a bit bigger. And now let's go into our main.storyboard. And as you will see, there is that tab bar controller that we had last time. And this is actually pretty much the same thing. There's this tab bar controller like so. And it's all automatically hooked up to your item 1 and your item 2. So now go to your first view controller right here. Click on your bottom bar, and we're going to make the system item featured or something like that. Just so it's no longer this grayed out mess. So now go down here again, and we're going to make the system item, we'll say history. So there you have it. That is how you do a tab bar controller. We'll add another one on there if you like. We'll add a view controller like this. And again, right click or control click and drag, and this is going to be a relationship segue of a view controllers, and that'll be your relationship segue. And go down here. And click on this bottom bar right here. We're going to set the system item to most recent, I guess. And now, if we were to build and run this again, you will see that it loads up. Actually, it's blank right now because there's no actual view controller that it's going to. So click on your tab bar controller, because you always want to go from the controller, not these little view controllers right down here, or something will go wrong. So you want to go tab bar controller like so, and go over to your attributes inspector, and it says right down here is initial view controller. Now let's build and run. Now we have featured, history, and most recent, and it's all switching. We can add labels just to show that if you want. Here is most recent, here is history, and here is label. Here is just featured. So now we have them all. We have the labels all placed in different places just to show you that they are changing every time. So now let's say featured, history, most recent. So they're all changing accordingly to the view controller that we want. And now you might be wondering, well, what if I actually want to go from my view controller like so, and actually go from that view controller over to a tab bar controller? Well, that's also very simple. You just go over here and Also, you can, when you have this arrow on the scene, you can actually just click and drag that to select it as your initial view controller instead of going into your attributes inspector. So now let's just make this the main view controller, and this is going to have a button. And this button will segue over to our tab bar controller. So right click or control click and drag, and we're gonna say, or not show detail, I didn't want to do that. Right click or control click and drag from our button, and we're gonna say show. And now this is the main one. So if we were to do this, you will see that we click on the button, it takes us over to our our tab bar controller, and now we can do that accordingly. And another thing we're going to add is actually a bar so we can go back and forth. So we're going to add a navigation controller. And this navigation controller actually makes it so you can push a bit easier. It adds this title bar on here that allows you to move easily between the tab bar and the scene before that. So we just click and drag that as the initial view controller. Then you right click or control click and drag from that navigation controller over to our view controller, not our tab view controller, and we want to say root view controller. So now we have this rooted. So now this is actually adding this bar onto every scene that we move onto. So now let's build and run, and you will see that we have our button right here. We can click on that, and then we can also go back and forth, and it just moves in nice and easily to our tab view like so. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. That's it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button down below. If you want to know more about me, be sure to check me out in the social networking links down below as well. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave that down in the comments section down below, as I will try to get to them if I can. Anyway, that's it for this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.